So Tuesday, June 30th, 2026, the last day of June. And it's a Tuesday. That means Tim Osman's here. He's a regular guest, and we also pair with his channels, bringing his large audience. We just talk about really whatever Tim's been talking about. Sadly, I don't get Tim's podcasts automatically on Odyssey anymore. So I'm too lazy, or I don't even see him on YouTube. So hopefully he can get your audio back on the podcast circuit so it comes onto the phone automatically. Tim Osman, hopefully you can do that. And he was here a minute ago.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, thanks for letting me know about
you were just pairing the kick.
Oh, that's what it was. Yeah, so the archives are going to resume tonight. Ever since I went to Seattle, I've just been behind on a few things. But I'm resuming archives tonight, so that's going to resume on all the podcast platforms. And also,
okay, because Odyssey is where I pull down your stream.
Yeah, Odyssey, and Odyssey has the RSS feed that puts it onto all these other platforms.
That's right.
So that's we'll
that's
zoom
the
that,
main thing.
Hear those. Yes. I shouldn't be underestimating the podcasts platforms. And I use the podcast platforms to provide archives free, and then subscribers get the links to the Patreon has the video and Substack.
Oh, okay, right. So you still, what does it cost to join the think tank?
I think it's like $3, I'm pretty sure, and then or $5 at Substack. But subscribers get live stream notifications, early access to certain things, all the insider information, and notifications for when we're live.
All right. That's good. Good stuff. Good to hear. So you've been doing many podcasts lately, but I'm fortunately missed most of them. So I'm going to have to ask you to update me on what exactly is happening.
Well, the last few episodes, the last week or so, what happened is I saw this movie being promoted for free by Elon Musk, and it's called Citizen Vigilante. And I just decided, like I always do, if it's pushed artificially, if it's made popular in this way, it's probably propaganda predictive programming. So I watched it, and I spent the last week basically dissecting it because Citizen Vigilante is like a far right wing Batman going after immigrants and such. But the timing of it with what's happening in Belfast just seemed a little too conspicuous. The opening scene has a black immigrant stabbing a white woman in the neck, and she dies. So that calls back the subway killing. So this is just like really heavy-handed propaganda. And then as I watch it, I'm just realizing, okay, this has got to be an engineered sort of a video version of the manifestos of Brenton Tarrant and Anders Breivik. It's just like too politically coordinated. And the more I'm looking into it, the more I see this movie itself is a big psyop, which is why Musk was promoting it.
What was the last
big Citizen Vigilante?
Yeah, no, I heard about it. I heard you were deconstructing it, and I just got a message from one of my listeners that you were doing so, and I didn't get a chance to look at it. But you want to play the trailer? You want me to play the trailer?
Yeah, you can play the trailer. Sure.
Quiver distribution. Citizen Vigilante is a death wish for the 21st century. Death Wish was the Charles Bronson series, I think. You remember Charles Bronson?
Yeah, so I saw that reference too.
Yeah,
and
he did.
This film is okay.
And I think he was a cop gone rogue. I think I never watched him, but I remember the series.
Okay, well, the vigilante aspect of it is what's particularly of interest here, because in Germany they didn't let it go into the theaters because they thought it would trigger people killing immigrants.
Copycats.
And so this movie is actually a manifesto in a sort. It's an incitement to revolution. And the killer is even saying in his video messages, because he's transmitting his video messages online, like anonymously, and he's saying, I'm only doing this until you can do it for yourselves. So again, this is definitely like a vigilante, kind of like Batman style. He acts like American Psycho, but he's got a right-wing political agenda, and you'll see it in the trailer, the looks of it. It's not super high budget or anything, but there's some important elements here. First of all, the Batman Association that this movie has, like he has this. First of all, the movie's called Dark Knight, and then Warner Brothers sent them a cease and desist, and they changed it to Citizen Vigilante. So it already begins with this kind of a Batman reference.
Okay.
And he is a Batman-like character, as in, like, vigilante by night, normal guy by day. So he has this dual persona. And the significance here, as far as like predictive programming stuff, ties into the Batman character and American Psycho, which is, of course, Patrick Bateman, who played Batman. So you have these overlaps here where both Batman and Patrick Bateman are sort of icons to the right wing. Batman has been kind of a common, you see like Joker and Batman movies represented in psyops. Well, Batman typically represents the right wing. So that's kind of significant. And then Patrick Bateman has been idolized by very far right for years. So anyway, Patrick Bateman also, if you've read American Psycho, idolized Donald Trump.
Okay.
So the whole movie is just super targeted as far as its target demographic. You got to see the trailer, though.
Okay, we'll watch in a sec. What was the last movie that the right wing was pushing about? What was it?
Sound of Freedom.
Sound of Freedom. That's right. I couldn't remember that. And what was that one about? It was about child abduction or something.
Child trafficking through the borders, and it tied in with the QAnon stuff. It was played by Jim Caviezel, who's a QAnoner.
Okay.
So that movie was definitely artificially boosted. I watched it in an empty theater.
Oh dear.
And I think what the scam is, the company is like Angel Studios. They allow you to go on their site and buy tickets for other people. And then other people go on and they get those tickets. So that's just a way of them making it look like all the theaters are full.
Let's see what it made. Yeah, you're right. That was 2023. They said the box office. Wow. 250 million. That's huge. So,
I'm saying it's fake. I think the movie itself was a psyop.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, and when it was released, there were all kinds of influencers saying, oh yeah, if they play Sound of Freedom, the workers at the movies are turning off the AC, or they're messing with the sound, or they're putting nanobots in your drinks. Like, there was all kinds of nonsensical conspiracy theories, like about how they're trying to suppress the movie.
A significant portion of early tickets came via Angel Studios' pay it forward model. That's what you were saying.
Yeah, so they're buying these tickets, but nobody's claiming them. So I go over there to the theater. I'm like, okay, this movie's supposedly, blowing up this weekend, and here I am alone with like a couple pairs of what looked to be MAGAs, and I was like, this doesn't add up. This whole business model is some kind of a psyop, like they do with the book industry.
Oh yeah.
Like, nobody in the world, I don't think anybody read Donald Trump Jr.'s book. I think it's called Triggered. I don't think anybody read it. But what they do is they hire a third party to buy all the copies and warehouse them. This artificially spikes the numbers, and then they show up in the New York Times.
Yeah.
So now his book is number one on the New York Times. New York Times finds out that they scam the system. So what do? They pull it. And then the author says, oh, they're trying to censor me. It's a business model. It's all fake.
They're all these models are scammed. You remember AC Nielsen ratings? That's where
were those also scammy?
Well, yeah, because you had to write down what TV shows you were watching in a book.
Oh,
you had to write them in a book, and then they would gather all the books, and that's what they sold the advertisers on, how many people were watching. And then they changed it to electronic Nielsen, where they just put a listening device in your house to listen to your TV and listen to your radio to see what you're listening to. But even clicks on YouTube. There are click farms, download farms. Now the latest with podcast is download farms, where you just set up a million zillion phones downloading podcasts. And as I've said,
and you boost your ratings.
Well, that's how they sell advertising, because they say, oh, we had 1 million downloads on this podcast, and that's how they sell advertising. There's no real way to effectively and honestly let advertisers know who is listening. And that's why I like my method, the value for value method, which is not mine. Adam Curry invented. I think it's the fairest. and you just pay whatever you think the show is worth. And if you don't have anyone paying you, then no one thinks it's worth anything. It's pretty fast and furious and simple, because the views on my videos don't mean anything. Really, I don't even really keep track of them, or my downloads. I haven't looked at that in years, because I don't think it means anything. Because I download 100 podcasts a day and I don't listen to almost any of them, so it's all automatic. So
right. Well, I get what you're saying, and when it comes to the inflating the numbers, that tactic is just fraudulent, and ultimately, maybe it gets the person more money, but it means nothing as far as the saturation of their ideas.
Yeah.
Like, I could fake my numbers and like 1 million people listened. It doesn't mean there's 1 million auto hoaxers. It doesn't change anything. I'm more concerned with quality over quantity. And one of the things I started is I opened a Teachable school. And the first course, Intro to Metascript, was just published. It's infiniteplainsociety.com. And I'm going to be publishing weekly courses because I want a listenership, this think tank, to all be on the same sheet as far as the basic perspective that we have.
Yeah.
And so it's sort of like an educated audience, or situational awareness is like on par with one another. And I think that what we're doing here is really about quality of the ideas. You can't fake that.
No, I agree. And the only way for us to know if you're listening is you have to email us or make a donation. But email is fine. Just let me know you're listening, because that's the only real way of telling. And I think for every one person that emails, I would say you could say maybe 100 people are listening and just can't be bothered to send an email. Donations probably are even more scarce, 1 in 500 people. But yeah, anyway, I just don't.
You know what there needs to be? And I thought about this before, and I already decided that if I do it, you'll have to show up remotely.
Mm-hmm.
But there needs to be an auto hoax con, not a conspiracy theorist convention with all the usual people with their
an auto hoax con.
Stale, dusty conspiracy theories, but just pure auto hoaxing Metascript deconstructors. And there may not be that many of us, but we need to kind of, I think, in some way, formalize it as a separate branch of thought. And I think the way that you make this sustainable as a business is you just cultivate a more focused audience, and you divert them from alternative and mainstream content creators, because you're not going to get any truth in Trutherville. I was talking in the chat to Jake the Awake. We both agree that the big channel Jesse on Fire is a total plant to gatekeep the Charlie Kirk thing.
All right.
It's like, you're not going to find the truth. That guy can say, he's like, oh, Charlie Kirk did get a squib, but he did it because he had to hide from Israel. So it's like, that doesn't really explain anything. It doesn't reveal that he was just an actor, that Erica Kirk is still an actress. It maintains the story. Erica Kirk was a villain, and she was collaborating with the enemy, and he escaped. So he's able to take a fact that we reveal and then put it into a context of lies. And so we need to really, I think, separate our thought process from that. And I think I want to put a list of all the auto hoax or media fakery deconstructors on a single page and see how many of us there are.
Yeah, well, we're on there. Let's watch the trailer here.
The truth is this: you are all being used.
The vigilante citizen is delivering a brand of justice that some believe the authorities have failed to provide, targeting both criminals and those in power accused of allowing crime to flourish unchecked.
There's been a lot said about me, so I thought you should hear directly from me. I'm here to help you take that control back.
The state, court, police. See, you think that they've failed you, but they haven't. No, they only exist to control you.
Do you want justice?
Yes.
Let's get some fresh blood. You walk down the street and you get stabbed or robbed.
He's a real hero.
We need more guys like this.
What does your country do? Nothing.
Our current system is failing to protect our citizens.
He's like the real deal.
He's playing with us.
What if everything they ever taught you was utter nonsense? We can change history.
Wow, that's Army of the Arm and Hammer fortune.
Yeah, Army Hammer. I guess his great grandfather was an oil tycoon or something, and he almost played Batman, but then he had a public fall from grace after being accused of an SA, and also apparently he wanted to have his girlfriend's rib surgically removed so he could eat the meat off it. So there's this cannibalism and sex assault attached to him. No. And so this to me is like, that's
fiction back on that topic. That's his topic.
Well, the guy has this weird reputation, and now he shows up in this movie where he's basically a Patrick Bateman American Psycho-like persona with this Batman kind of overlap on multiple fronts here. You know, this whole Batman archetype. I'm saying this because there's a deliberate use of fictional universes to deliver propaganda messaging. And Joker is like this left-wing fighting the system Antifa type, and Batman is like a right-wing fascist reactionary. That's why Luigi Mangione has a lot of Joker associations, you know, kill the rich. And so what I'm saying is that Batman has been like deeply embedded in right-wing meme culture for some time, especially with Q as this vigilante, and like Trump is like the rich guy who wants to go down and, you know, clean up Gotham. You have Daniel Penny cleaning up the subways compared to Batman. So this is not a new association. They filmed part of Dark Knight in Trump Tower. My point is that this movie is engineered to with these archetypes to reach that target demo and let them feel like, yes, there needs to be a vigilante to protect us from the invaders. So this movie is definitely, it's like just a great example of target market propaganda. And the critics are bashing it, saying it will incite hate. They're saying it's terrible and bad. But if you know the right wing, the far right, they like this type of action movie that it's kind of like, it's almost like a throwback to the 80s and the special effects. It's not like a modern movie. And I see a lot of people like nostalgic about the pre-CGI when things were more
real.
You know, yeah. So I'm just saying this movie was marketing genius. And the only reason I watched it, promoted it because it was being, quote, censored. So to me, I'm like, okay, they catapulted this message and it was received by the people who are fighting on behalf of the Henry Novak, the Subway Girl, the White Lives Matter movement. This is just to catapult that movement. This to the White Lives Matter is kind of like the George Floyd video to the BLM. Like this is meant to incite that mob to action.
It says here he's not worth any money. He didn't get any of the fortune. And you were right. He was accused of cannibalistic activities. They said they were consensual. So it's hilarious because I don't really buy into the cannibalism stuff, but Prophet of Fiction, my Sunday guest, is really big on that topic. I personally didn't think there was much to it, but it seems like it could be a real thing with some of these elite rich people, even though he's supposedly not rich, which I don't believe.
Right. I tend not to think so either. I think that this guy's manufactured. But as far as the cannibalism thing, I was like trying to figure out, I was like, why are there so many Batman and American Psycho references in this movie? Like his self-righteous monologues, his persona. There are scenes that I think are directly borrowed, but there's something in it. And I'm like remembering in American Psycho, he was a cannibal. He ate some of the hookers he killed, or he ate parts of them. Sometimes he'd scoop up their brains. I mean, he really gets the whole American Psycho persona the book is really extreme. But when I looked into this, I realized, wait, American Psycho, the main character was a big Donald Trump fan. And then there have been articles in recent years saying how interesting it is that a lot of the Trump supporters on the far right idolize Patrick Bateman and have turned him into this meme, and that he's like the original looksmaxer. He's the ideal male. So I'm like, okay, that's interesting. So they manufactured this icon. And then the actor who played Batman is the actor who played this icon. And this new movie kind of synthesizes the two and shows him in action. So I'm saying that this is actually an influence operation built upon archetypes that were already fed to that subculture.
Okay, we got a caller in her, so let's take one call. Excuse
Hold
me.
time,
Caller in her.
8 minutes, 10 seconds.
Wow, you've waited a long time. Caller in her, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, psychologist. Hey,
IPS?
Jay from Texas.
IPS. Hi, Jay from Texas.
IPS. Hey, IPS. I wanted to know if you have deconstructed, because you're talking about this new Elon movie and all this, fake stuff. It looks cringe as hell. You could tell they're trying to set up something. But have you deconstructed the 2006 movie Children of Men? And it's just like what they want to do in Europe. It's first happens where in the setting, like, people can't have kids. Nobody can have kids anymore because of some type of illness or vaccine or something like that.
Yeah, have you heard of the movie Children of Men, Tim Ozman?
Yeah, I remember watching a scene from it that was proliferating around 2020. It has John Cusack.
Yeah.
And I believe the conversation was something about how we have to save the planet, so we have to reduce the population for a couple generations. So it kind of has this climate change storyline attached to it.
Well, no, it also had like martial law in it. Like, did you watch it? Like, I watched it. It has like all of Britain is locked down. He's in Britain. They're looking for people who can have kids.
Yeah.
Because none of the old people can have kids or anything like that. And it's all martial law out. And there's also this social tension between immigrants, like Muslim immigrants, and the British people. And apparently there's a big old civil war. And he's like,
okay. Now,
yeah.
You said Civil War. Okay, now this is interesting because I'm going to have to watch it now. Because I looked it up on the IMDb. Guess what year Children of Men is set? It came out in 2006, but guess what year it's set?
2030?
It's like 2020 something right there, right? 2020 something, right?
2027.
Uh-oh.
Oh my God, dude. I'm telling you.
Next year? Next year.
Look, it says it takes place in London. So yeah, it's centered in Europe. No children, no future, no hope. 2027 is the year it's set. I'm going to have to watch this because I remember that scene about the rationale for pushing humanity to the brink of collapse through infertility. And I didn't really watch the whole movie, so I have to check it out.
Julianne Moore, Clive Owen. What happened to Julianne Moore? She was in everything.
And now that you showed me this new movie made by Elon and he's pushing it in Europe, it looks like the deconstruction pattern from all the movies from Rollover from the 1980s about the economy crashing to like these movies now in our time with this new Elon Musk movie. It looks like they're showing us the end, and now this is what we're seeing right now is how they want to start it. You know what I mean? And then the end result is in all those movies from the 80s and 90s.
Should we watch the trailer? Children of Men? You want to watch that?
Watch it.
Yeah, we should.
Okay, we'll watch it, and then we got another caller and coming in on the line.
And really quick.
Yeah,
really quick here. The timing of it's interesting to me because I've been pointing out that the BLM thing happened, and now they just kicked off the WLM, White Lives Matter, and they're kneeling, they have the raised fist. But I'm saying if you look at all these different psyops, the dialectics, it's always black and white, and the whole idea is problem, reaction, solution, or the whole Hegelian dialectic. And so the fact that they've introduced WLM means, I think that there's some kind of, I don't know, synthesis that's about to occur. So the timing of it, 2027, stands out. So yeah,
the synthesis is brown, and most of America is brown, and Canada too. That's
I was thinking gray, like alien gray, where we're all aliens because there's no more borders. There's one world.
Yeah.
I kind of thought the synthesis was ultimately that, but anyway,
okay,
yeah. Let's look at.
Let's take a quick call before
Hold time,
another
5
call,
minutes.
and then we'll do it. Caller, where are you calling from? What's your name?
I'm calling from the South Shore of the St. Lawrence Seaway. My name is John the Beggar.
Hi, John. Say hi to Tim.
How you? Hey, Tim. Hey, thank you for that hat. It really has come in handy with this sunny, warm weather.
Oh, I was thinking about that. The that you have the snapback. I want to order that particular version. And yeah, I'm glad it's helping out. I wore mine today because the sun here is killer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Wow.
I love that hat. Another thing too, Arm & Hammer was an American businessman,
Yeah.
but he somehow got to go over and do deals in the Soviet Union, and he got awards from Joseph Stalin for being a big-time communist.
Wow.
And that to me sounds rather suspicious, that the whole communist capitalist thing is more of just a play.
Yeah.
And I know he won awards there from Joe Stalin even. And I don't believe his nephew or whoever that man is poor. That's another rags to riches type story crap. He's got lots of money. Also, you talked about the movie Death Wish with Charles Bronson.
Yeah.
Yeah, he played the character Paul Kersey,
Yeah.
who was an architect. He wasn't a road cop.
Oh, okay. Architect.
He was an architect. Yeah, and then they did a remake around 2019 or 2018 with Bruce Willis, and he was a medical doctor, being Paul Kersey.
Oh, he did a remake with Bruce Willis. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think it went very far, because they've never had any of the other ones. But I'm a little skeptical of that cannibal stuff, because you're getting, you could get that Yakov Krytov syndrome, mad cow disease from eating. You know, you can get that from eating your own type.
It's the Kuru disease from the.
I thought it was from the trail. I thought it was from eating brain. Yeah, I thought Kuru was from eating brains, and I was told one of the symptoms is this kind of a laugh. I think it's the Hillary Clinton laughter. That Joker laugh is a symptom of Kuru, but I thought it was from eating brains.
Well, they find that they've been over in Papua New Guinea, and some people claim that there's a lot of people that seem to have that syndrome because I guess deep in the bush they still practice cannibalism.
Like a rabies type symptom, right, John?
It's a crazy thing where they shake and they can't coordinate themselves. And,
oh, that's what it was. Yeah, because Hillary had that weird shake where she started like twitching her head around and stuff. It didn't make any sense.
It wasn't do that on purpose.
I tell you, ever since this
that was the Kuru shake.
Everything's been looking even more crazier too because of all the stuff I think coming out of there. Okay. I don't know, John, if you've seen it on the TV, John. Like if you look at the people, as soon as the Ukraine war kicked off, the basketball, the NBA was promoting. We need to help them out, and then all those, I don't know, they had this real shiny look to them after a year and everything. Real
okay, let me play the trailer, guys, for Children of Men. Let's see if it plays here. There we go. Universal.
I can't really remember when I last had any hope, and I certainly can't remember when anyone else did either. Because really, since women stopped being able to have babies, what's left to hope for?
The world was stunned today by the death of Diego Ricardo, the youngest person on the planet. The youngest person on Earth was 18 years, 4 months, 20 days, 16 hours, and 8 minutes old.
The ultimate mystery. Why are women infertile? Some say it's genetic experiments, pollution. Why do you think we can't make babies anymore?
Doesn't matter. It's all over in 50 years. It's too late.
Move along! Move along!
Hello, Theo. How have you been? I'm sorry about the theatrics. Police have been a pain lately.
I haven't seen you for nearly 20 years.
I need your help. Not for me, a girl. Need to get her to the coast, past security checkpoints. It's hard for me to look at you. He had your eyes.
So why did you come to me?
I trust you.
Show him.
Now you know what's at stake.
We have to meet the boat.
What is this boat?
The Human Project have sent a boat.
The Human Project?
Yes, the greatest minds in the world working for a new society.
Your baby is the miracle the whole world has been waiting for.
We will find a way to get you to the human project, I promise you.
We're almost there, kid. We're almost there.
Does anyone know where they're going? Heading to the coast.
Okay, to be clear, that's not the trailer I saw. Okay, I'm thinking of Utopia with John Cusack, which has this sterilization to save the planet thing. So it's not the same movie. This is a different one, but that one came out, the series, the American version, in 2020, and it was basically using the vax and a false alarm to get people to take it to sterilize them to save the planet or something.
There are quite a few Utopia movies: 2013, 2014, 2020, 2024. But I see the
2021. Yeah, and that's the one I'm talking about. And it even has crisis actors who live on this island, Utopia, who fake.
You want to watch that trailer?
Yeah. So I mixed that. When I said John Cusack, I was thinking Utopia. I need to watch Children of Men.
Oh, you want to watch Children of Men too? Okay, we'll watch this one.
Utopia.
This is a movie night.
It's a story about a genius scientist who made horrible viruses.
Ebola, MERS, Zika. Predicted in dystopia years before the first case in the real world.
Yeah, you're one of those, huh? It all has to mean something.
What have you done today to earn your place in this crowded world?
That's great. It starts with an earthquake.
You want to stay alive? Come with me. I need to kill every single person who's seen Utopia.
Snakes and airplanes.
Everything in Utopia is real.
Viruses, biowarfare, man-made disease.
I'm the foremost expert on this virus.
Jesus. It's a pretty serious situation. Hey, bet your ass it's a serious situation.
Stern's flu has now been declared a national pandemic.
This is our undoing.
But we can fight it. We'd just be going into the belly of the beast, practically begging to be slaughtered. Yes.
Yeah, what?
That's extreme.
How much evil do you have to do good?
None evil.
Okay, that's not the movie. There's another Utopia. Okay, so there's another one.
Okay, now, the one thing about this one that you'll find interesting is that it opens up with this group of comic book nerds who have a advanced copy of this comic book series, and it predicts the previous issues had predicted epidemics, the dates, the numbers. So they were looking at the comics as predictive, like we do, like predictive programming. So they get an advanced copy and they're like, oh, we know what's going to happen next. Well, because it was such sensitive information, those who held the copy were hunted down by some government operative and killed. So I'm like, okay, predictive programming.
Okay, this is a TV series on Amazon Prime. This is the movie? So this is a TV series.
So it's a TV series about basically comic book nerds becoming conspiracy theorists because they're seeing predictive programming in comics coming true. And they find out too much information and they get hunted down. And then the movie comes out in 2020 and is concurrently relevant to the pandemic as it rolls out. So
yeah, it's hard to believe the pandemic actually happened when you look at it through a movie, because it just seems ridiculous. This fake pandemic we went through, the charade of it all. It's hard.
It was ridiculous when it really happened. It was absolutely absurd.
It really was. They just preyed upon people's ignorance of the lack of contagion. Doesn't exist.
Hey,
people just.
Yeah.
No, go for it, John. Go for it. Sorry.
No, you can have it.
No, I was gonna say, have you heard of that movie called The Gray State? During 2015, somebody was making it, and he was talking about how there was going to be a fake event in DC with drones and everything. It had all that, like, this was 2015. They were going to have these a drone attack, and it was going to target a certain group of people. Like, I guess they call them, like, I don't know, but it was going to, they're left wings, but they were going to attack everybody in Congress with these drones. And
well, let's ask. We have a guest tonight, so I don't want to have a ping pong game between the callers. So okay. keep the guest. Ask the guest one more question, Jay, and then we're gonna have to go.
Well, that was the question.
That was for Tim Ozman.
Yeah. Isn't he Tim too?
Yeah, everyone's Tim here. Okay, so Tim Ozman, have you heard of what's the movie called?
No, I have not seen Gray State, but I will.
Okay.
I will take any recommendations.
They weren't able to finish it. They weren't able to finish it.
Oh.
The guy got killed. The guy got killed who was making it, but there was a trailer and a screenwrite about it, and that's.
Oh, right. I wonder if that was a fake movie. Yeah, I think we talked about it. Is it this one here? No. Oh, yeah. A documentary about the mysterious death of fringe political filmmaker David Crowley, who was found dead alongside members of his family in their suburban.
Oh, okay. You know what? You know how I heard about this?
Crowley?
Yeah,
yes,
as an Alistair.
Or Nathan Crowley, who worked with Dark Knight Rising, and he was the set designer for the Wicked. He designed Oz, and he's a blood relative of Alistair. But no, this guy, this particular situation was brought up by Woo's News. You know, Woo's News,
Right.
who did the January 6th breakdown.
Yes. Woo's News talked about it. You're right. He thought it was real.
He's
And I
personally
thought
connected to that person. I think he knew the guy.
Yeah, that's right. And I thought I brought it up that I think the whole movie premise was fake. And I think he got offended at that.
Interesting.
So you don't
Interesting.
you don't think there's gonna be something like that?
No,
this is fear porn.
Yeah, well, Alex Jones is a star of the movie according to IMDb here. So,
but that's what I'm saying. That's why they have those people, right? Like a Crowley and a Jones, just to make you look stupid, like how he did with like how he is. He's just like he just goes in there to make it like what? How did you say Candace Owens is being now?
yeah, well, no, I'm just saying when I looked into the story, it seemed fake at the time.
Oh yeah,
It did.
yeah.
And I like Woo's News' analysis on J6.
Oh yeah, it's
you
spot on.
can't argue with a frame by frame analysis, but I think he dropped the ball on Butler and Charlie Kirk, and I find that strange when somebody who has this ability to analyze an event in such nuance will focus on one event and not follow up events. So hopefully we can see more from him. I'll have to look him up and see what he's doing.
Yeah, he needed a computer. I remember I sent him $30 as part of the donation campaign, or $33, but he seems to have dropped off. So, okay, Jay, I'll let you go.
Yeah, no, thank you, and thank you for checking out those recommendations.
Thank you for recommending them. I appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you.
And John the
Have a
Beggar,
good one.
you too. John the Beggar, you got anything before I let you go?
No, I'll just wish you guys a good night, and once again thank Tim for the hat. Good night.
Yeah, thank you for supporting the IPS think tank by purchasing the hat and serving to spread the meme into the real world. Thank you.
Yeah, John the Beggar, representing Detroit. All right, a lot of movies tonight. Wow. Should we watch the trailer of The Gray State since we've been watching trailers the whole time?
It's up to you. I'm fine watching it or not, but I'm going to look into it for sure and reflect back on Woo's News and see how he's doing and what project he's on.
It seems to be the same dystopian theme, but okay, we'll watch a bit of this. It's been a theme tonight, so why not? Movie night. A&E. They're still alive, A&E.
What is Gray State?
Gray State is less a movie than it is a warning. We do not live in a dictatorship, but we do live in a police state. What we're going to see is the unveiling of this gray state foisted upon America. Americans believe that they can't do anything. And day by day, they're becoming correct. It's a game of numbers, and we're losing.
And there's something about it that just kind of gets on you and you just can't wash it off.
Credibility means nothing to me. What I care about is truth.
I don't think you're missing anything. The only thing you're missing is why.
Still don't really know what it was about, do you?
I guess the idea is that he's making a movie that's going to expose the coming police state, and it was going to be such a expose that they had to kill him. Like this is like, yeah, to me it's just antiquated. It's this old truther idea, like, like you speak the truth, they're going to get you.
Okay, yeah.
That's why I said fear. It's just fear.
It's another fear porn, right? So you think the whole? I wonder where Alex Jones was in the movie. Maybe he was yelling and screaming. Well, he's always talking about the police. Who's Werner Herzog? He paid for the movie. He was paying for it. Who is he?
Yeah, Alex Jones is always about the coming police state, martial law.
Mm-hmm.
It was always hyping that up. And then Trump got into power, and I don't know. His show is just not. It hasn't been all that coherent. And ultimately, someone said that he is the freshman for truthers, and Alex Jones is positioned there strategically to get anybody straying from mainstream discourse who leans right under control. And they start drinking the Kool-Aid in Alex Jonestown, and they're usually hooked. And he's the loudest voice in the room strategically for that reason. It's a very typical error for people to get stuck in that paradigm where we're fighting against the New World Order. I'm like, the New World Order is already the establishment. It's already here. It's the old world order.
It's the evolving world order. It's always been there. I agree. Okay, so Werner Herzog was just a movie producer that's in his 80s, and Roger Ebert, who I used to watch all the time on PBS, he thought he was a great filmmaker. So he was somehow mixed up with this Gray State movie, I think.
That was 2015. So that trailer, the whole story might have hit harder during the Obama administration, but now that the right and the truthers are the ones in power, I think they moved away from a lot of that. The government's going to take over because it's like their side won. So it just seems a little antique. I might look at it, but I don't know if I can get into it.
Okay. Interesting. Well, a lot of movies, and that is your specialty, is really analyzing these movies and seeing how they apply to concurrent programming, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah. I wonder if they're able to monetize a trailer. I mean, they didn't complete it, and then that becomes the story. It sounds like an op. It sounds fake. Like the death was a fake event. They made a movie around it. So it just seems like psyop. I might watch it for that reason.
Okay, so do you recommend Citizen Vigilante? Did you watch it?
Yeah, I recommend it, not because it's good, but so you can see an example of an influence operation disguised as a movie, and recognize that every aspect of it is, basically designed to create a certain response from the left and the right.
And Elon Musk tweeted about it, and that's why it's now being that's really boosting it. Obviously, Elon Musk is the genius Pied Piper of our day. Everyone listens to everything he says every day, and they're giving him trillions of dollars for his fake space company. Which, do we ever talk about that? Does that blow your mind?
Yes, it does. And I'm like, how are people taking him seriously? Like, you're going to trust the guy, the richest man in the world,
Mhm.
who just happens to tweet a movie that's being suppressed? Like, he's the reason I watched it. I said, there's no way this is organic or real.
Mhm.
They're trying to suppress the movie in Germany. It's not even that great to warrant even being that big. And then I see Musk promoting it on X. And I said, since he purchased Twitter, I said X is going to be the vector for disease X,
Mm.
the mind virus that justifies internet censorship. The mind virus specifically being right-wing violence triggered by basically the internet. And X is the conduit. And he just made my point for me again. He promoted this, and this is specifically designed to incite right-wing violence. And I think this is the PSYOP. Create the perception that Elon Musk has opened the floodgate to terrorism from domestic terrorists on the right by inciting this type of propaganda, by inciting them with propaganda. And the public will say, oh, the reason why we have so many of these attacks is because of a lack of digital ID or something, or
Yeah.
because of Elon Musk. So it's like a pretext.
So this is part of the dialectic then. Problem, reaction, solution. And Elon is helping gin this thing up.
Yes, and then there's another twist to it, because the right wing is factioned into mainstream and far right or woke right, and the mainstream Republicans very much are anti-Islam, pro-Israel. The woke right are not really anti-Islam, but they're anti-Israel. And so the woke right's take on this is that don't trust Citizen Vigilante. It was made by Jews to get whites to fight Muslims so they can be suppressed. So they're calling this out as a triangulation and not to trust it. So it's kind of interesting how this is being processed. And the left is looking at this with alarmism, saying this is going to cause the right wing to do terrorism. So now, if anybody tries to imitate copycat style Citizen Vigilante, uploads a video and commits an act like Brenton Tarrant did, or Anders Breivik, and this movie, in fact, the plot line did mirror Anders Breivik, who basically, set up bombs in his apartment like this guy did. And he went and he shot up the children of the Labor Party to punish them for open borders.
Interesting. I guess I really got to follow Elon Musk's Twitter. He says a lot of stuff.
Yeah, he's basically platform. See, he bought Twitter to do what? To get rid of the woke mind virus. Yeah. And that's when I realized, okay, you read for mind virus, but when he said woke mind virus, he meant left-wing woke mind virus. But what did he do? He introduced and platformed the right woke mind virus. And people don't know what woke right is, or they don't want to believe it. But woke right is basically the mirror of woke left. Woke left says the world is controlled by systemic racism and whiteness. They're anti-racist, which means they're anti-white. The woke right believes the world is controlled by, so it's critical race theory. And the right is critical Israel theory. So instead of saying whites control the world, they say Jewish world domination, and all non-whites are, part of this block against them. So it's basically an identical version of an oppression narrative, but with a different oppressor.
Yeah, we talked about this, and it's going to end up in the same synthesis is what we said.
Well, that's what I mean, because now the woke right is doing what? Their White Lives Matter, kneeling for their martyr. So they've become a mirror, and I find it to be it's remarkable that they pulled this off. They've created a perfect mirror, and it just fits the model, the political horseshoe, the two factions, and there's got to be some kind of a synthesis they're building to. And one more point: Citizen Vigilante opens up with a scene where a black immigrant kills a white woman. Right. And it looks just like that subway killing last year, which they tried to use to start White Lives Matter.
Now, what's your take on that? Do you think there are any immigrants killings in Europe? That's a little far away from where I am. Do you think? I think there was a story about the 250,000 girls in Britain that were raped. What's your take on any of that?
As with everything else, it has to be evidence-based. And, I think that we have a lot of agitprop that gets thrown in the mix and misrepresentations of statistics. So I'm a firm non-believer in the weaponized propaganda versions of it, but I'm not saying that crimes don't happen. I don't know. Is it true that immigrants commit them disproportionately? I don't know if that's necessarily true. I really don't. And when I look at events that are contextualized with other psyops, I have to disregard its messaging. So Henry Novak getting killed by an immigrant is the story. I don't know if it's true. The same day that they were sentencing the killer, they were sentencing Carmelo Anthony for killing Austin Metcalf in a similar analogous event. And that, again, these events all tied into predictive programming, like the movie Sinners or the cover of the Economist 2026 with a raised white fist. I just look at this as, okay, it's psyop until proven otherwise. So I would say on a case-to-case basis, show me the evidence.
I'm wondering, do people think vigilante justice is a good form of justice? In other words, just have one guy to be judge, jury, and executioner all in one shot? Is it a good idea? I guess it appeals to your base reaction, but I mean, what if he got the wrong guy? Does anyone think of that?
That's really what we've seen from the manufactured right-wing terror, like Timothy McVeigh, for example,
Yeah.
and a lot of these shooters like Anders Breivik and such. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to basically say your government won't protect you from the immigrants, so I'm going to. And Brenton Tarrant goes and he shoots up these 2 mosques. So the whole point of this movie, I think, is to get people to agree with the messaging, and you see this idea, you see this being reinforced. This needs to happen. So now you have this collective agreement, and you have this superhero for the woke right who perfectly matches the Patrick Bateman Batman archetype they already worship and glamorize.
Yeah.
Then they show him getting praised on the internet for avenging the girl that was hurt. You put it together, and I'm like, okay, they've created a believable pretext for copycats. So I'm expecting some kind of psyop to align with this. And did you follow the Montreal shooting last week?
Well, yeah, I think we look at it together, or I did look at it with somebody. Maybe it was you.
Okay, well, yeah. Well, the guy was basically, he had a 104-page manifesto.
Oh yeah, we
and
talked about that. That was great. That was a good show.
Yeah, and he was talking about feminism and bankers ruining the world and stuff. But I listened to the entirety of the thing as an audiobook. So when I watched Citizen Vigilante, all of his monologues could have been taken right out of that manifesto. So now you have a parallel psyop connecting with the movie.
That's concurrent psyopery.
100%.
Yeah. Well, and psyops need reinforcement of the method. So we have the written form, we have the movie form. Are there podcasts discussing this?
It's being widely discussed. It's on blast right now. And then the far woke right are remixing it, and they're replacing Army Hammer with Mel Gibson, and they're replacing the Muslims getting killed with rabbis and Jews. So it's like the woke right is using AI to remix clips of it. And you'll see it. It's not going away anytime soon.
Squirrel Voffen, I don't know if he's joking. He's a bit of a humorist. He said, I've been in White Lives Matter group for 4 years. It's more of an anti-media platform. I've never heard of it. Is it? So there is a White Lives Matter group? Or
I don't think it's the one that we're talking about. And White Lives Matter was brought up as a counterpoint in 2020. And Candace Owens came out with Ye wearing White Lives Matter shirts.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
She's been connected to psyops like this from day one. That's why I don't trust her whole position with Charlie Kirk and everything, because she's already been part of provocation info, and of course, Daily Mail dropping her.
Yeah.
And
I don't trust anyone who converts to Catholicism. Just saying.
Performatively,
Yeah.
And did you catch what I said earlier? Erica Kirk's best friend died in the Aurora shooting, the Batman shooting.
No, I missed that. That's great.
What does that say? I mean, and that victim, the one who died, is the one who survived a mass shooting in Toronto right before.
Right. The psyops are all tied together. Well, we had a police shooting here in Toronto, and they said they were investigating the United States consulate shooting in Toronto 2 weeks earlier, or from a month previous. So even on a local level, they tie all these psyops together. And I guess that'll be the end of that investigation. So they said someone shot yeah. So
now that's interesting. You say the local tie-ins
yes.
because this movie has citizen vigilante killing a family of Muslims, right?
Okay.
Well, just today I noticed locally there's some protests being organized and a petition going around because there's a big mosque they're trying to get
Zoning for,
it
yeah.
built in this. Yeah, and it's in an area that has been for a long time, for multiple generations. Local agricultural communities and same families, and so now you see this traditional Catholic background, and now you have this Muslim temple or mosque being proposed, and I'm like, wait, now I see Albuquerque being called or was it Islamophobic? I'm like, okay, so they're showing like basically public resentment against Muslims locally. And now we have this movie where this guy's this anti-hero killing Muslim immigrants. So I'm like, okay, this is kind of interesting. What are they setting the stage for? Like I've been thinking domestic terror, some kind of like an inverted 9/11.
Well, they're just trying to get people to accept that the fact that the Muslims are the only ones that are building houses of worship anywhere in North America. All the other houses of worship are closing. Presbyterian, Catholic, they're all empty. And most of the Muslims around here, they just rent out old industrial buildings, but eventually they raise enough money to build full mosques. So it's the same everywhere in the West. It's not just Albuquerque, it's everywhere. Because guess what? They're still having children. And when I go to the beach, every year there's a few more burqas at the beach. And they're the ones with the children pushing strollers. I don't see any white people pushing strollers, very rarely. So that's your future.
What's interesting is because this is a well-known strategy, be fruitful, multiply. This is how you grow a cult, because then you raise people in the cults. You encourage intra-cult breeding.
Mm-hmm.
And what I find interesting is that Nick Fuentes and America First has been talking about the decline of the populations and replacement theory for 10 years now.
Okay.
He has not had any children. Right. I see none of that. If all these conspiracy theorists who are scared of immigrants just started having babies instead of tweeting all day, they could they could be competitive.
Yeah, no one is reproducing. That's including all the ones that walk the walk or talk the talk. Let's see. There was a question earlier. Someone wanted to know what you thought of the Venezuela earthquake. Do you think earthquakes can be faked like I do via the media? We discussed last week a video. We just watched a few news pieces, and one guy was talking about the pancake theory. He was explaining why the building came down like a controlled demolition in a pancake. And I thought, oh, they're front running the pancake theory. So when we look at the one or two buildings that are pancaked, when there's other buildings still standing. So do you think that the earthquake is a real event and just some buildings pancake, or is this just more controlled demolition?
Interesting question. Mm-hmm. As a rule, if they can fake it in the movies, they can fake it in the news. If they can fake it in a mass casualty simulation, then they can fake it on the news. And as far as that, so you combine a simulation, a televised version, with the controlled demolition. That's what they did on 9/11.
Yeah.
It's their formula.
Yeah.
So it's well within the realm of fakeability. And so when you bring this up and people will be incredulous, not skeptical, they'll say, there's no way. I'm like, well, what's your evidence it did happen? Yeah. And let's compare and let's go from there.
Because we were looking
at this point, I'm like, yeah.
We were looking at imagery and we were trying to figure, okay, if the ground did shake enough to pancake the buildings, which doesn't seem possible, because if the ground shakes, the building would fall in an irregular way. It would not fall like a controlled demolition. And we are also looking for evidence like, well, if the ground shook, that means the pipes underneath the ground would probably break to some extent. There'd be water main leaks, there'd be gas leaks, there'd be all kinds of infrastructure that would be only altered by an earthquake. But on the other hand, they could blow some buildings up. They could shake the ground by blowing up, I guess, some things underground, and then broadcast in the media that it is an earthquake. And how would you be able to argue that? You can't argue it from North America and the people in Venezuela, whatever is left of that infrastructure. Well, they're not going to get the message out. Do you see what I mean? How you could fake an earthquake?
Yeah, because we could say, yes, it's fakeable. And the second question is it fakeable at scale? Could you do it? And that's a valid question to ask in these things, and to take it to look at the what it would take to accomplish it. And yeah, I think that we've seen already that they have the tools and the abilities to do this.
And I don't think you need earthquake machines. You see, that's the alternative explanation. Oh, they've got these powerful earthquake machines. They can shake the whole world. Of course, they got the nuclear bombs that can destroy the whole world. And I remember looking into Tesla when that idea first came out. This miracle guy, he said there was a weapon that could split the world in half or some craziness. So they all have these.
Okay,
do you remember that?
Yes, that's the strategy. Yes, that's the strategy. Like for example, the divine fallacy. I can't explain how something's done, so you introduce something high tech, exotic, supernatural.
Yes. Judy Wood
and Judy Wood's direct. What is it like? They're using the harp or something. And I'm saying the simplest explanation is the best. What's more likely? Some hidden tech to create real earthquakes, or using the existing tech, i.e. movie magic and simulation, to fake it. And the pattern has been fakery. So I do not insert imaginary hypothetical weapons. Like I saw somebody saying, oh, there were space lasers that were seen before the quakes. It's like, you got to subtract, never add to the story. You have to subtract the unverifiable, and that'll get you closer to the truth. And I think you're right on target. These exotic weapon things are misdirection.
Yeah. I like the divine fallacy. I just looked it up on Grok. You get Grok Premium if you pay for X. I think you pay for X because you're streaming on X. So do you know you get Grok Premium as part of your package?
Okay, I need to use it because I keep getting rate limited by Perplexity.
Yeah, I've switched to Grok only because I'm paying for it because I'm streaming on X like you are. So you probably will. I think I've run into limits on Grok, and it asked me to pay for Super Grok, which I won't do. But we already pay for X, so you get Grok Premium or something. But that's a great one. The divine fallacy, also known as the argument from incredulity or argument from personal incredulity, is an informal logical fallacy. It occurs when someone assumes that a phenomenon must be the result of divine intervention, a supernatural force, or some other extraordinary cause simply because they cannot explain it otherwise, find it too amazing, complex, weird to be natural, or cannot imagine a non-divine explanation. So yeah, that's a great fallacy to have under our belts and understand.
And you know what? They use that fallacy. I really started looking into it when people would see predictive programming, and they would realize, okay, there's too much to be coincidence, so it must be the simulation. And I'm saying, no, your simulation is the god of the gaps. You're just throwing in the supernatural or magical because you don't have that information gap filled in. And that's the wrong approach. And I think that we're looking at this correctly. We don't need to assume the existence of earthquake tech, but rather look at the existing tech, and it's likely that.
Well, yeah, it's some explosions. Like how would you do it? Okay, set off some explosions, because I know when my neighbor is pounding on the ground.
Controlled demo, some AI simulations that are recorded, and then fake eyewitnesses. Handheld cameras in the simulation.
And then give crazy numbers. Like they said that there could be 20, 30, 40,000 Venezuelans.
I think that's
missing.
all it would take, right?
Yeah. Am I coming through okay? I think
okay, I'm not hearing anything.
Did I maybe I pressed the button or something? 2212. Am I coming through? I think Tim couldn't hear me for a second. Well, the show's almost over anyway, but I doubt this is Liv. Oh, did I mute him? No.
Okay, hey, say my
Tim
my
Ozman,
audio
can you
just
hear me?
glitched for some reason.
That's funny.
No, that was on. Yeah, I think my mic glitched.
Oh, okay.
No, but we're still live. We're
That
still
was
live.
your. Oh, your mic.
But anyway, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay,
I
yeah,
was
we're
thinking
alive. I just wasn't sure you could hear me. Maybe, yeah, you can hear me.
Okay,
Maybe
yeah, now
I
we're
think
clear.
we're out
I
of
don't know what
sync
that
somehow.
was. Yeah, I don't know what the hell happened. I
It
think we're
sounded
good
like we
now.
were out of sync. Were we out of sync?
You know what? They were shutting CERN off today.
No, you said we were talking about sync, and then we became out of sync. Our audio is out of sync. I think I'm ahead of you or behind you, or you're just cutting
Yeah,
out. What a
I don't know
coincidence!
what that was. Yeah, but anyway,
Well, we're almost done. We got a pretty good audience tonight. 116 live on YouTube combined. So pretty good audience tonight on the joint session. I like these joint sessions because we find IPS user or listeners, and IPS listeners find fakeologists. So sorry, I keep coughing. This bloody cough. So when I start coughing, it's probably time to wrap it up.
Okay. Well, hey, I'm going to put a link to your show on my IPS.monster. I want to put a link to anyone who's auto hoax adjacent. So
Yeah,
which
please
one should I
do.
use? I'll put, is it just FakeOTube? Maybe a link to the restream or what?
Fakeologist.com. Fakeologist.com that's our main hub. That's got everything. It works pretty well. If you go to this page, just like IPS Monster, you can see we got our live show, our streams, our podcast, our audio chat. Fakeopedia is not functional, but FakeOTube is. We have forums. We have a blog. We have other blogs, sub-blogs that are less. We have our Discord, YouTube, our X. It's all there. That's the best link.
Okay. Well, I think that I'll put a little ad up, IPS Fakeologist Tuesdays, and I'll put a link. And,
yeah, no, that's good. That's good. No, one more question. Did Brian Toohey get a hold of you, or is there any action? Is there going to be any movement on a moon landing debate TV show?
Oh, actually, I need to send him a message tonight. We had a 30-minute screen test to talk about this, and I need to show them my broader point here. I need to show them my quote evidence so they can ensure. We're going to do a formal screen test in a few days, and they'll see if we can work together on this. It's a pilot for a show about controversial things, but their whole premise is they want to have an intellectually rigid and honest debate to get the best information out. And I don't think the moon landing has ever had a fair treatment.
No.
And so my position, though, isn't going to be analyzing shadows or any movie magic stuff, the cliche arguments, but I'm going to try to bring in the perspective that the event was faked as part of a sequence of fake events, the worldview manufacturing. And I'm bringing up Stanley Kubrick, for example, and they seem to be intrigued by that. I have to back it up with my explanation. So I'm going to reach out.
They might not like the macro. They might not like the macro that you're going to bring up. I don't think they want that information. They just want people arguing about shadows. You're absolutely right. I think they're going to have a hard time with your macro point of view because it is visionary and it is world altering, and they just want people arguing about shadows and the way the flag is flying or not flying on the moon.
Exactly.
I really think. I think when if they look into your material too deeply, they're going to know that they're not going to want you on. That's my prediction. That's why I didn't really think that I could add anything to a moon landing debate, because my view is way too high up. It's too high altitude for them, and I think yours is the same way.
I'm going to try my best to get on. If so, it'll be next month, filmed in Los Angeles. It's a pilot show. And I had they were positive and receptive, but it's unfamiliar territory to them. So I'm going to send them something and see, but I think you might be correct in this matter.
They can't let we're the final level of this debunking game. We really are. And that's the problem. that'll be no good for them.
I think you might be correct, but we'll find out, and I'll keep you updated as soon as I get more information, probably the next day or so.
All right. Well, we'll keep watching for that TV show, and of course they'd edit the crap out of it, and who knows what the end result will be.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
like Capricorn 1. Capricorn 1 sort of did blow the whole story apart, but because it was a comedy kind of thing, then nobody listens to comics for truth because they don't believe it. So I think that was what Capricorn 1 did.
Right. I think you might be correct. They use comedy to discredit it. And I think that's a strategy. And I think that's why we see a lot of right-wing or conspiracy theorists who are comedians. Like, comedians are used to platform these ideas that, basically unacceptable ideas, and they put it in a context where if it's taken too seriously, I was just joking, or I'm just a jester.
That's right. You can laugh it off. Laugh it off. All right. Good show tonight. Yeah, we went a little long, but a very good show. I hope everyone enjoyed it. Make sure you support IPS.monster. The guy lives on a shoestring, obviously, and IPS Monster, he accepts any kind of value for value. He's not there to get rich, and neither am I. But if you like these shows, you gotta let us know and email us or donate, because views and downloads don't mean anything in this world.
Yeah, thank you for that. I mean, someone in the chat, Cameron, asked if I got monetized. And no, a couple months ago, 3 months ago, YouTube purged my channel from the partnerships. They said I'm inauthentic, I'm AI, and I don't offer anything of commentary value. So they demonetized me. So no, I have not been. So I do rely on individual supporters joining the channel. IPS.monster is the place to go. Thanks for the plug.
Direct donations. What's wrong with direct donations? Donate directly. He has
yes.
You have a Bitcoin wallet. It did work. You got the Bitcoin. I sent it to you.
I do need to buy cat food. You heard the cat. I heard the cat earlier. I have a stray cat that comes around during live streams, and she's mad at me because I have not been providing sustenance. So,
and by the way, I rarely go into convenience stores, but I had to return something to Temu, and they had a convenience store drop-off depot, and there was a Bitcoin machine in there. I know they're everywhere. So if you want to be super anonymous, you can take your cash, you can put it in a Bitcoin machine, and I know they probably don't give the best rates, but you can send your transaction anonymously, super anonymously through a cash machine at a local convenience store. They do exist. And we're only talking 5, 10. If everyone just gave a couple bucks, and there's hundreds of people listening on to us live, and there's probably, when Tim gets his archives going, it's going to be even more, hundreds and hundreds. So if everyone just gave a tiny bit, then we wouldn't have to Tim wouldn't have to be strapped for cash. So help him out.
All right. Well, thank you for that. Appreciate it. And we'll see you all next week. And I will resume archives tonight. I'll put this up there as well. So for those who are catching it on podcasts, I'll be resuming that. So thanks again for reminding me, and we'll talk next week.
All right. Thanks, IPS. Good night, everybody.